Hello friends, welcome to this week's edition of Current Affairs. We'll begin our discussion with the Rwandan genocide. Now the Rwandan genocide happened in 1994, so it's been 20 years. Now, what exactly happened in Rwanda? Rwanda, as you know, is a country in Africa. It's a tiny country in Africa. And between 9th April, let me bring in here. Let's make it April, okay? Between April to July 1994, in a matter of 100 days, okay, 8 lakh people were killed. And who were killed? What exactly is the background to this? See, this country of Rwanda is majorly populated by the Hutu community, Hutu, H-U-T-U, Hutu. Okay, this is a tribe that's dominant in this country demographically, population-wise, it's a dominant. There are two minority tribes. One is, Tutsi. Tutsi. The other is Twa, T-W-A. It's a minority within the minority kind of thing. Now, for a long time, the Tutsis have enjoyed significant power in this country, but matters came to a head when there was a great deal of resentment between in the Hutu community over the you could say that over the unfair treatment to the Hutu community. I'll not get into whether it was unfair or not, but for decades, for centuries, these guys have been at loggerheads. They have been at each other's throats. But recently, that's about 20 years back, rather 40, 30 years back. Sorry, 30 years back, things came to a head, and on 7th April, on 8th April, the president of Rwanda, a Hutu guy, was killed. Now, this was taken as an excuse by the Hutu community, the Hutu tribe, to massacre Tutsis. Remember, as to who killed the Hutus, who killed the Hutu president, no one knows for sure. Of course, there are things like, it was, he was killed by the extremist Hutus. There is this story that Tutsis killed him. I have read, a great deal of literature, in fact, including a particular book called A Problem from Hell, which is an entire book dedicated to the idea of genocide. It talks of genocides around the world, like the genocide in Cambodia between 1975 and 79, the Rwandan genocide, the genocide in Darfur, which is in Sudan. So plenty of genocides it talks about. But this particular one we are discussing, it happened in Rwanda in 1994. So, in the second week of April till the third week of July 1994, in those 100 days, 8 lakh Tutsis were killed, my friends. 8 lakh Tutsis, and about, a few moderate Hutus also were killed. Now, there are disputes concerning the exact number of the people who were killed. I'll not also get there because these are all matters of debate as to how many were killed. Unfortunately, a lot of people who participated in this massacre have not been served justice. Okay, who have not, they have escaped basically. But of course, there have been an ICC tribunal, there have been Gakaka courts, GACAC, local courts in Rwanda to try the perpetrators of the genocide and all. But many people escaped. Of course, a lot of people made it to, were pushed into prisons, but a lot of people also escaped. Now, if you want to watch this genocide in real life, in the sense that when I say real life, not exactly real life, I'm talking on screen kind of thing. There's a movie called Hotel Rwanda. Hotel Rwanda. There is a country called Rwanda. So, Hotel Rwanda. Watch this. It's a Hollywood movie. It had been nominated in multiple categories for the Oscars. And this movie will help you understand the scale of the atrocities committed in this country in the name of tribal power. So basically, two major reasons: hatred, animosity towards the minority Tutsi community and the Twa community, and the Hutu hunger for power were the major reasons as to what why this particular, genocide happened. Okay. So this is a bit about this genocide. I've spent considerable amount of time, not just today, of course, for decades I've spent time learning about this particular, what we say, genocide. And who is Rwanda? The capital is Kigali. This is a capital, Kigali. Rwanda, yeah, Kigali. And the president is a guy called Paul Kagame. It will not, maybe it may surprise you that Paul Kagame belongs to the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, which was also a constituent in the genocide. Okay, he is the president, Paul Kagame. That's about it. Now, the Qutub Minar was illuminated to highlight the atrocities, the genocide that happened here. Okay, the Rwandan flag, and of course, a lot of pictures were displayed on the Qutub Minar to showcase the atrocities committed, to showcase, the genocide. The Agra Fort, Taj Mahal, okay. Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan between 1633 and 53. Charminar was built in 1591. It is believed 1591 by a Shia, ruler of Hyderabad called Quli Qutub Shah, Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. So Ajanta and Ellora caves, the fascinating Ajanta and Ellora caves are in Maharashtra near Aurangabad. Most beautiful places, so you could always visit. Okay, so from here we could go to the next one. Name the winner of the 2024 World Literary Prize from the World Organization of Writers, for her contribution to the world of literature. Mamta Sagar is a poet and a translator. She's the author of poetry works like Footsteps of a Wild Peacock, Footsteps of a Peacock or Wild Peacock. Then there is another book called Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek. Okay. Rohinton Mistry is one of my favorite writers. This is author of books like Family Matters, Family, Family Matters, Matters, Family Matters. There is this book called Such a Long Journey. And then a most beautiful book called A Fine Balance. So I would suggest you read Rohinton Mistry, especially his book A Fine Balance. Okay, what about the choices? Chetan Bhagat, is the author of books like 5 Point Someone, then Off Girlfriend, Two States. Amitav Ghosh is author of books like the Calcutta Chromosome, the Ibis Trilogy, which has 3 books, Sea of Poppies, Flood of Fire, then this book called River of Smoke. Fascinating books. You should read, my friends. One book I strongly recommend. If you don't want to read anything else, please read this book by this man, The Hungry Tide. This is his, I would say, the best work of Amitav Ghosh, The Hungry Tide. Arvind Adiga is a Booker Prize winner. He is the author of books like The White Tiger. The White Tiger. Okay. Name the marathon runner and, of course, the first person to, run across the entire length of Africa. You think about 16,000 kilometers, across 16 countries in 352 days. This is Russ Cook of Britain. He started in South Africa, went to Tunisia in the end, my friends. And I was surprised, at his journey because I read through the entire article, multiple articles I read about him. He was robbed in Angola. His passports were taken away. His passport was taken away. His money was taken away. Almost all his equipment was taken away. Then in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, he was kidnapped, held at gunpoint. Oh, scary stories, my friends. Calvin Kipton was a world record holder in marathon running, but unfortunately, he died recently in a road accident. He broke the record of Kipchoge. That's about it. Let's go from here. India's Chief of Defence Staff happens to be General Anil Chauhan. Anil Chauhan, and he presided over the tri-service conference called Parivartan Chintan. Now, this is, this entire conference is about building a modern force for modern times. Okay. This is Chief of the Indian Navy, Air Chief Marshal, Indian Air Force. What about General Manoj Pandey, Indian Army, Chief of the Indian Army, and Director General Rakesh Pal happens to be the DG, that is Director General of the Indian Coast Guard. Okay, Indian Coast Guard. That's a bit about all of these things, my friends. So, whenever you talk of the Chief of the Navy or always have the title of the position, please. When you say, you should say Admiral R. Harikumar. Say like that. Always take their, titles. The designation is important, my friends. Who has won the 2024 Formula 1 championship at the Japanese Grand Prix? This is pronounced Grand. Grand is grand in French, my friends. That's it. Okay. It is, of course, Verstappen. Verstappen happens to be the world champion in the last 3 years. World champion, my friends. 21, 22, 23, straight world champion. He belongs to Netherlands. Then what about the number 2? In this championship, these were the top 3. Max, followed by Sergio, followed by Carlo. Carlo belongs to Spain. Sergio Perez belongs to Mexico. Okay? Yeah. ATP rankings, Association of Tennis Professionals. ATP stands for Association of Tennis Professionals. This is for the men, basically. An association of men's, men's tennis professionals. As far as women are concerned, there is WTA, Women's Tennis Association. Now, this particular, rankings, the latest ones have showcased that Rohan Bopanna is the oldest world number 1 in the world, especially in doubles. Okay, and Novak Djokovic has become the world's oldest men's singles world number 1. He is 37 years old. He just went past Roger Federer, FedEx. Where you see this guy's nickname is FedEx. This is Joker. Okay, Joker. Novak Djokovic is called Joker. Iga Swiatek belongs to Poland. Djokovic belongs to Serbia. Iga Swiatek belongs to Poland. Remember this? She is a Polish. Okay, she is currently the world number 1 in women's singles, ranking. She is from Poland. Chandrayaan-3 mission has just received the Jack Swigert Junior Award from the US. It's a space foundation. They came up with this award to to acknowledge the great mission success of Chandrayaan-3, which incidentally landed on the south pole of the moon, which also makes India the world's only country to be able to achieve a soft landing on the south pole of the moon, of the lunar body. Okay. And this guy Swigert was there on Apollo mission, Apollo 13. It was then aborted because there was a leak on the, outside basically of the spacecraft. But due to his, quick thinking, commonsensical thinking, the people call it commonsensical, but it's actually quick thinking. All the astronauts could come back to space, could come back to Earth in full shape. I mean, good shape basically. Okay, so this is about it. And the good thing about it is France, UK and France, UK and Germany all are members of the European Space Agency. Canada has its own space agency called the Canadian National Space Agency, CNSA. Okay, I guess that's about it. Which country has invoked, this is a good question, invoked the WTO's peace clause to, for breaching the subsidy limit? What exactly is this question about? See, India's rice production, total rice production last year was $53 billion. $53 billion. This is the value of the total rice production of India. Okay, value, rice production. I'm just writing rice production, nothing more than this. Now, what you need to understand here is this. Of this, we gave $6.3 billion to our farmers as subsidy, Okay, the MSP and all that stuff, subsidy. Now, 6.3 of 53 is about 12%. About 12%. The WTO says subsidy should not exceed 10% of the production value. Subsidy should not exceed 10% of the production value of the crop. But here it is coming to 12% of the production value of rice. Now, that's why India has invoked the peace clause. By invoking this clause, it gets immunity from any sanctions, from any action, negative adverse action. Because under this particular clause, developing countries get immunity from, from any penalty or any sort of negative action by the developed world. So, we have been doing this for the last 6 years. It's nothing new, my friends. Okay. So, the total production value of all the rice that we produced last year in India was $53 billion, of which the equivalent of, $6.3 billion was given in subsidy to our farmers. $6.3 billion is 12% of the total rice production value. Now, remember one thing, this 6.3 is 12% we said, but the World Trade Organization's limit is 10%. So, subsidy cannot exceed 10% of the production value. In India's case, it's 12%. Consequently, India invoked the peace clause, which gives it immunity from any negative action. Okay. So, one more thing, what you need to understand is the WTO has temporarily, it's not, it's actually negotiating. More or less, it's going to admit 2 countries, 2 new members, Comoros. Okay, that's 1. 2 is East Timor. East Timor, also called Timor-Leste. 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 So, 2 countries, Comoros and East Timor, will be the new members of the World Trade Organization. As of today, the World Trade Organization has 164 members. 164 members. Okay. In this particular session, I am not going to name the heads of any organization. That would be a major departure, because usually I bring in, the head office, the chief of the organization, and a little more about the organization. But I'll stick to only the head offices in this particular session. For the first time since its inception, which group has announced its vision for regional security, in March 2024. The GCC. What is the GCC? The Gulf Cooperation Council. Gulf Cooperation Council. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gulf Cooperation Council is headquartered in Riyadh. It's headquartered in Riyadh, which is the capital of Saudi Arabia. Now, it has 6 members. 6 members. Who are the 6 members? The 6 members would be Kuwait. You take a geographical order, it becomes that much easier. Let me clear this and put it this way. Okay. Kuwait. Then Bahrain. Only here I'll give you the names of all the members. Then we look at, Qatar. We look at one more country, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman. What is it? Oman. So, these are the 6 members of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Okay, guys. All the 6 have come in. we mentioned the head office, which is in Riyadh. OECD is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Remember this, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It's an intergovernmental organization to promote economic relations between 38 member countries. It has 38 member countries and it's headquartered in Paris. Obviously, you don't expect me to give the names of all 38 countries, isn't it? Most are members of the European Union and Northern United States. In not the United States, North America, two there, Canada and the US. Then you have Australia, you have New Zealand, you have South Africa, South Korea. So all these so-called developed countries. Okay. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. SCO is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It has 9 members. 9 members. And it's headquartered in Shanghai. Obviously, it will be headquartered in Shanghai. But in this case, let me give you the names of all the 9 members. It's easy. We'll start with India, China, Pakistan, Russia, then Iran, newest member, you could write this, newest member, Iran. Then the 4 stans. 4 stans. What are the 4 stans? Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Let me repeat. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. 4 countries. Okay, there are 5 stans in Central Asia. Except Turkmenistan, the other stans are members of the Shanghai Cooperation Council. BRICS, you all know BRICS have 10 members. Okay, 10 members. Now, there is no particular head office. But since you already know the full name of BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, I'll give you the names of the latest 5 members. Okay, Egypt. Then we have Ethiopia. 2 countries in Africa, then the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, then the United Arab Emirates and Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran. So in Asia, Africa. Okay. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Let me repeat. Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Head office, Jakarta. 10 members. 10 members. It's easy to know these members. You start with Myanmar. You have Myanmar. 1, Myanmar. 2, Thailand. 3, Cambodia. 4, Laos. 5, Vietnam. Then go down. 6, Philippines. 7, Indonesia. 8, Malaysia. 9th, Brunei. 10th, Singapore. There you get all 10 members. Okay. If you follow a certain order, like I followed geographical order in this case, it becomes that much easier, my friends. Okay. According to the World Anti-Doping Agency, which countries' athletes or which countries topped the dubious list of having the highest number of doping offenders? India, my friends. They took samples of about 4,400 athletes in India. 127 people tested for banned substances. Now, this could be some substances which could have been taken by these people with their own knowledge. Okay. But at the end of the day, 127 people individuals tested positive for banned substance. Now, these guys were number 2. In the order in which these are mentioned, these are top 5 countries with the highest number of offenders. Okay. South Africa was number 2. 3rd was, Thailand. 4th, United States. 5th, Qatar. Now, see, Qatar is a tiny country, yet it came in the 5th place. Now, as far as the WADA is concerned, the WADA is headquartered in Montreal, which, as you know, is in Canada. Montreal. Okay. Cool. Which country has drafted model rules for childbirth registration? Now, there are, we have had this kind of registration in the past as well. But what's significant about this is that parents will have to record their religion separately, not, together. I mean, that is, the form will have separate the parents, each parent's religion. Okay, at the time of admission also, the two parents will have to put in their religion separately. Okay, so who are these guys? The Minister of Home Affairs, of course, as you know, this is headed by Amit Shah. Women and Child Development Minister is Smriti Irani. Smriti Irani. Ministry of Social Justice headed by Dr. Virendra Kumar. Virendra Kumar. Virendra Kumar. Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia. Okay. Law and Justice, I think it's Arjun Ram Meghwal. Arjun Ram Meghwal. Arjun Ram Meghwal. So, all the 5 ministers have been covered? Yes, my friends. Let's go to the next one. Again, this is a very controversial thing, very important thing for people like us to know, because we often use public charging points in the airports, bus stops, in all these places, cafes and all. Now, this is a very dangerous thing to do. See, what happens is that the RBI has now warned you. Before I tell you what it is about, the RBI has warned mobile users of juice jacking. What is juice jacking? It is a term that was first coined by Brian Krebs. Okay, fair. What exactly is it? It's a form of a cyber attack wherein, hackers tamper with public USB, Universal Service Bus. USB is Universal Service Bus, the charging station. So, let's say, for example, I want to charge my mobile phone. So, there is a charging point here and I insert the cable here. Okay, it's getting charged, harmless for, or all, in a simple way, it's harmless. But hackers, what they would do is they would actually replace the available, USB points or something with their own infected edge, USB chargers. So, once it is inserted into your phone, it will steal all the data. All data, banking details or SMSs or whatever that you have, they steal everything, friends. It gets replicated onto a server or their computer, everything. So, you should be very careful in, while using public charging, phone charging points. I personally have never used, because I have known this for a long time now, and it's come in the public eye only now, but it's been there for a long time, my friends. And, it's always good to carry a power bank. A power bank when you're traveling, my friends. Okay, a fully charged power bank. So, try to avoid, public's mobile charging points and everything. Fair? Yes, India's first private sector built sub-meter resolution Earth observation satellite. Remember, Earth observation satellite can also be called a remote sensing satellite. What is it? A remote sensing satellite. Now, this is being called TSAT-1A. It is, it has been developed by Tata Advanced Systems in collaboration with Satellogic. Satellogic. It has been launched by, remember this, it has been launched by SpaceX on, let me clear this, it has been launched by SpaceX, that's a company owned by Elon Musk. It's called Space Exploration, Agency, Space Exploration Corporation Limited. And this company owns a particular kind of rocket called Falcon. It's a very heavy rocket. So, they use Falcon 9 rocket to carry this satellite into the space. This satellite, ladies and gentlemen, was built by, Tata Advanced Systems and Satellogic. Now, let me tell you something about this. This company is a joint venture between Tata Sons, which is a parent company of the Tata Group, Tata Sons and Boeing. So, Boeing and Tata Sons came together to start a company called Tata Advanced Systems. Okay. So, this Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Hindustan Shipyard. Hindustan Aeronautics and Hindustan Shipyard were both started by Walchand Hirachand Hirachand, industrialist. Okay. Yeah. Kalyani Group is a forging, engineering, forging and fabrication company. It's also into defense equipment and everything. Identify the correct statements about Nobel laureate Peter Higgs. Now, this guy is a Nobel laureate in physics. He is said to be the guy who first proposed the idea of something that binds the universe together. And he, it's for a long time it was called the God particle. But later at the Large Hadron Collider, which is owned by CERN, CERN, which is a European, European body for nuclear physics, and this, nuclear physics research body owns Large Hadron Collider. Fair. They later found this particle that had been elusive for multiple decades. Finally, they said, okay, we have found this, and they named this particle after Peter Higgs. And boson is said to be Satyendranath Bose. Satyendranath Bose. That's how it is. Okay. He died recently, but Higgs personally did not like to call it God particle. And when the writers were asked, why did you call it God particle? The writer said, we couldn't have called it goddamn particle. That's the exact word. Okay. We couldn't have called it goddamn particle because actually it is a goddamn particle. It's been so elusive. It has eluded all sorts of research for so many decades now. And it has been so expensive to find this particular particle. So it better be called goddamn particle and not God particle. Of course, goddamn does not sound as good as God particle, isn't it? India's Jagjit Pavadia has been re-elected a member of the third term to INCB. INCB. Now, INCB, CND, UNODC and WHO are all members of the same, they are part of the UN system. They are part of the UN system. Remember this, they are all part of the UN system. And we mentioned that WADA is in Montreal, WHO is in Geneva. It's in Geneva. This also is in Geneva. This is in New York City. Okay. Yeah. There are a lot of things that, that are important to the exam perspective, but they don't seem to be as important now. But if you are comfortable with these things, these things will make you that much more, comfortable, confident in answering questions, my friends. With which group has India collaborated to launch an expression of interest aimed at startups specializing in recycling technologies for electric vehicles? Now, battery recycling technologies are very important because EVs are gaining traction, but to dispose of those batteries, it has become a big headache. Now, European Union and India has collaborated, are actually thinking of, coming up, they are actually working out a solution, rather multiple solutions to safely dispose of the EV batteries and all. Now, what about GCC? We mentioned a while ago, Gulf Cooperation Council. Mercosur is a Spanish word which means Southern Common Market. What is it? Southern Common Market. Southern Common Market. This is related to South America. Okay, and it's headquartered in Montevideo. Montevideo, as you know, is the capital of Uruguay. Where is it? Uruguay. It's the capital of Uruguay. AUKUS is Australia, United Kingdom and United States. AUKUS. A for Australia, UK for United Kingdom, US for United States. G7. Now, this is important. G7, my friends, is group of 7 developed countries. Take the geographical order from west to east. We'll start with the United States. Okay. Then Canada. See, these are our old world order. It no longer reflects today's world. Canada is just not an important country enough. but this is the old world order. United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, what have come? Yeah. Yes. I think we are missing out something. There is Japan, but in between there is something more. France, UK, Germany, Italy. I guess 4, 2, 6, 7. Japan. Okay, these are the 7 countries that make the group of 7 countries. Group of 7 most developed industrialized nations. See, this is not important. This is not important. This is not important. This is okay. Not important. Okay. So these countries matter. Japan, Germany, US matter, but other countries don't matter. But this is the old world order, which China and India are challenging now. Okay. For the first time, which country has recently deployed Sea Dome defense system, which is the naval version of its Iron Dome, anti-missile system, to intercept and destroy incoming missiles. You all know that Israel has done this, and they have deployed the naval version against the Houthi or the Houthi rebels, terrorist organization in Yemen. These guys are allies of, these are Shia, and they are allies of Iran. So, Iran is anti-Israel. So, they have been trying to attack. They have been trying to attack Israel from all sides. Okay. So, you have Houthi here, south, in the Arabian Peninsula. Then the Hamas in east, in the west, and in the north is another edge, Hezbollah. So, the Iranians have built what is called the axis of resistance. They call it the axis of resistance against the state of Israel. So, remember, Iran's president is a guy called Ibrahim Raisi. It's a pretty large country. Just to give you an idea how big it is 16.48 lakh square kilometers. 16.48 lakh square kilometers is 50% of India's area. The population is about 9 crore. Inflation officially is at 40%. It could be about 150%. Things are very, very tough because of decades of sanctions by the Western world. Okay. So, from there, let's go to the next one. Which institution has co-authored a report with McKinsey and company titled, see, McKinsey is the world's leading consultancy firm. It has come out with a report along with the World Economic Forum. The report's titled Space, the $1.8 trillion economic opportunity for global economic growth. So, when we talk of space, what exactly is space here? Not just exploration, not just launches, not just satellites, but it also includes space impacted or space enabled technologies and businesses on Earth. You understand this? So, every business, telecommunications business, defense equipment, defense businesses, all sorts of technologies today are enabled by satellites, my friends. Okay. Without telecommunications, media and all that, without satellite link-ups, nothing would work. Nothing would work. How do you think satellites communicate, back to Earth? Through, signaling like this. Okay. You are here, I am here on another part of the world. It's, because of the line of sight factor, because of the Earth is round, the line of sight factor, waves cannot travel like this. Waves cannot travel like this. Waves can only travel in straight form. So, they go up to satellite, come back here. So, these are important things, my friends. Okay. So, space is not just what happens beyond Earth, but also how space enables businesses and technologies back on Earth. The World Bank it comprises 5 organizations, and it's headed by Ajay Pal Singh Banga. World Economic Forum, and this guy went to IIM Ahmedabad. World Economic Forum was founded by a man called Klaus Schwab. He's also the chairperson even today. Klaus Schwab. World Trade Organization. This is the only question where I'm actually bringing the names of the guys associated with this. You already have heard of World Trade Organization. You have heard of Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. It's a hyphenated name. Okay. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. Ajay Pal is a US citizen. Klaus Schwab is a Swiss-German citizen. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala is from Nigeria. She's from Nigeria. Asian Development Bank is headed by Masatsugu Asakawa, a Japanese economist, central banker. Masatsugu Asakawa, and Asian Development Bank is headquartered in the city of Manila, which, as you know, is the capital of Philippines. Okay. Hey, there is a World Trade Organization twice here. So I think we'll just ignore it now. Okay. Which university has secured the top position among Indian universities in the Quacquarelli Simons rankings? Jawaharlal Nehru University, not overall, but only for its development studies. It has been ranked 20 in the world. Only for development studies, it has been ranked 20. Please remember this. Okay. Now, coming to some other names here, you have IIT Bombay. IIT Bombay. IIT Bombay in chemistry is world number 95. Okay. Under 30 is its rank in artificial intelligence and data sciences. Think of it. Artificial intelligence and data sciences is the domain in which IIT Bombay excels. It's a below 30 ranked, globally below 30 ranked. I'll just clear this. Then you look at IIT Madras. IIT Madras. It has world number 44. It is world number 44. It has this rank in what? In manufacturing, then in mechanical engineering and aeronautics. 12 IIT Madras former students, alumni, worked on Chandrayaan 3, my friends. So it's a global power, my friends. Okay, when it comes to these particular domains, I think this should be fine for now. Yeah, coming to one more, business studies. Yeah, IIM Ahmedabad. IIM Ahmedabad is ranked 22 in the world in business and management studies. Business and management studies. Okay. World Homeopathy Day is observed every year to mark the birth anniversary of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the founder, the father of homeopathy. This is April 10th. April 10th. What about April 30th? Ayushman Bharat Divas. Ayushman Bharat Divas. April 24th is National Panchayati Day. National Panchayati Day. April 22nd is Earth Day. Earth Day. April 7th, World Health Day. World Health Day. Because on this day in 1948, the World Health Organization was established. So you got all of them, my friends. Which is the first private bank to open a branch in Lakshadweep? Now, Lakshadweep is a union territory. It's a union territory that comprises 35 islands. Remember, there were 36, but one got submerged. Okay, it sunk in the earth, in the ocean. So, there are 35 islands, and it is India's smallest union territory. Its area is below 33 square kilometers. Okay, below 33 square kilometers, and what is this? Its population is 33 square kilometers, and its population is below 65,000. 65 1,000. This is 2011 census, so you could make it 70, 75 now. Even then, it's India's smallest union territory both by area and population. It has 35 islands. Okay, and it's administered by a guy called Praful Patel. Praful Patel. I think, yeah, Praful Patel. Most likely, he may leave, he is going to leave this. But anyway, Praful Patel. You also know the capital is Kavaratti. What is the capital? Kavaratti. We have had only public sector banks here, but now, HDFC Bank has become the first private sector bank to open a branch in Lakshadweep. HDFC Bank is headed by Shashidhar Jagdishan. Shashidhar Jagdishan. IndusInd Bank, Sumant Katpalia. ICICI Bank, Sandeep Bakshi. The CEO is Sandeep Bakshi. Kotak Mahindra Bank is Ashok Vaswani. Ashok Vaswani. Yes Bank, Prashant Kumar. Prashant Kumar. Which country's judiciary has sentenced property tycoon Thuong Mailan to death in a $27 billion fraud case? The numbers vary. $27 billion, the total loss suffered by this, the economy. But she has been indicted. She has been convicted of a $12.5 billion fraud. This woman owned a real estate company, and, then she started a private sector bank also, which she controlled through about 25 people. She was proxy, shell companies, everything. And she gave away loans. She actually took those loans, through, by forging documents and everything. And today, remember this thing, when you say $12.5 billion, she is indicted for $12.5 billion. Okay. This is nearly 3% of the GDP of Vietnam. That's the amount she looted. 12.5%. $12.5 billion. Okay. And Vietnam is not a normal country. It's a single party authoritarian country. It's a communist country. It's like China. Sorry. Single party authoritarian country. Oh, it's a socialist state. Only single party, no elections are held, nothing. And in this kind of a country, while she had cultivated lots of relations with the Communist Party and everything, things got quite heated up, and she's now been sentenced to death. Okay. So, if you want to know the capital of Vietnam, it's Hanoi. The capital is Hanoi. The largest city is something else called Ho Chi Minh City. Relax. Okay. One more thing. I'm not naming the president because the president has resigned and he is going to be replaced by someone. So, till if the new guy comes in, a permanent guy comes in, we will not look at the acting guy's name. Okay. So, coming to choices you already know about. We have been discussing this. Okay, capitals. Let's look at capitals. Taiwan. There was an earthquake in Taiwan recently. Taipei. Thailand. Bangkok. See, it's okay to give the names of the leaders of these countries, but too much of burden, my friends. Okay. Like Indonesia's president is, I just was about to write the name of the president. Indonesia is Jakarta. What is the capital? Jakarta. The name of the president is Joko Widodo. That's why I wrote J-O there. Okay. Jakarta is the capital. The president is Joko Widodo. Coming to Thailand, the the prime minister's name is Srettha Thavisin. But Bangkok, you write capital now. Philippines capital, we mentioned a while ago when we were discussing ADB, we brought in Manila there. The president's name is Marcos Bongbong. What's the name? Marcos Bongbong. Yeah. We could discuss all these things, my friends, but we should restrict ourselves sometimes. Okay, the ADB has come out with this forecast that India's GDP is likely to grow beyond 6.7%, as they had mentioned earlier. It's now likely to grow at 7%. India's GDP is likely to grow on back of both private investment and public sector investment. Public investment, there has been considerable amount of capex, capital expenditure. The government is spending billions of dollars, lakhs of crores of rupees in building roads, airports, seaports. We have been building rail networks. There is a great deal of infrastructure development, and that creates a cascading impact, a domino impact on a lot of other sectors. Like, for example, when you build a road, what happens? You create demand for coal. Yeah, you create demand for coal, cement, concrete, stones, that is, concrete and all that. Then steel, iron, so much goes into building a road. And of course, cabling, electric cabling, because of the lights and everything else. You also create employment demand. Okay, so you employ people and all that. So it is very important to look at all these things. It's just not building a road, but what goes into building a road, that's important. So this is how economy gets impacted. People get employed. See, if I work on a road, I as a coolie or something, I get salary, I get wage. When I get wage, I put money in, I have money in my hand. When I have money, I have purchasing power. When I have purchasing power, I create demand for goods and services. When I create demand for goods and services, someone will try to fulfill my demand for goods and services by supplying them, by creating them. To produce those, the guy will employ someone. So you actually create a positive cycle by, building infrastructure. Okay, so that's a bit about this. Thank you for being here. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious.